So my brother yesterday cleared out the wood chip pile went all the way back there. So he cleared out an area to pull in. But I'm going to show you a little drone shot of him doing the work. One wheelbarrow at a time. It's a good workout. Garden workout. The garden workout will shape you up, burn some of that belly fat, and get you playing in the dirt again. Oh, I love my garden. Hey, if you guys love my garden just from looking at it right here, give me a big green thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can get some updates. But let's start with my mangoes here. What's up, everyone? It's Dave Stone with another exciting episode of Develop Awesome Skills, and today I'm gonna be giving you a Stonehaven garden update. I haven't actually done that in a while, but I want you guys to see how everything's doing, how it happened over the summer, and how everything's doing. So, all right, we're gonna start with the mangoes here. So this is the Kerry mango, and if you can see, I've got some beautiful new growth coming in. This leaf is just enormous, and I love the color of these leaves when they come in. They're like orange or yellow. Got some new growth popping in up here, and I didn't top this. If you could see, that's actually just coming right out of the top. I didn't top this one on these ones. So this one though, I did top. See, right there is where I topped it, and I got 3 shoots coming up out of this one. So that one reacted first. I haven't topped these ones yet, but they look prime for popping out soon. This castor bean that I planted right behind it is doing amazing. It's getting really big. It's a beautiful plant. I've broke off a lot of the leaves. As you can see, I dropped them. It's coming out with more leaves down here. But it's gonna provide a nice canopy over top of this mango for next year. And we'll see. I may not need the canopy, but I probably will. This is the fruit punch mango. It's almost as tall as me now. It's doing really well. Doesn't have any new growth on it. Kind of stalled out, but it's looking good. And then my favorite new growth is this pineapple peach. It's just got this burgundy new growth that comes in. It's got another one coming up in right here. I didn't top this one either. It's just coming out. Well, I topped it first and it got a few branches, but I haven't topped those branches and they just start shooting up. This one, same thing, new growth right here. And then these guys, it's like really big new growth. Beautiful. So pineapple peach. And then the coconut cream is doing really well right now. I actually did some pruning on this one because I had to. But I got a lot of, this one was not topped here, so it's coming out with a new growth. I did top this one, so you can see right there, and I got 3 more branches coming up out of this one. So you can kind of see over here, got some nice new growth, and then right up in here, some beautiful new growth. Of course, this one kind of like got a little hammered by something. Pop that off. But some nice big leaves coming in. Up there we have some more new growth. So the coconut's doing pretty good. The Aravaipa avocado is doing nicely too. As you can see, some of the leaves are a little bit greener. Those are the more new growth. Like right here, you can see I still have some coming in and growing. And up here too. It's starting to bush out, which is nice. It's just starting to get more full. But all my wood chips are pretty much gone. I mean, I'm getting a little bark on the trunk too. It's starting to kind of come up with some bark. But the wood chips are pretty much gone. It's just all in the soil, so it ate all my wood chips. But when you kind of get down here, you know, it's nice and fluffy. There's some worms right there. Yeah, more worms. So this is all very light and fluffy stuff. Some centipedes. So this is all worm castings right here. They ate all of the compost laid down. They're just doing well. So it's definitely time for more wood chips in this area. You can still see the dirt there now, all around the coconut cream. So here is the Catalina avocado, which is now popping out with some new growth again. Some beautiful new growth right there and down here. The Cuban avocado. It's looking good. Growing a little slow, but it's still doing well. And then the winter Mexican really kicked in once the temperatures dropped. I mean, nice big leaves on this one. So it's doing well. We got the ice cream mango here that's also stalled out. It's not really getting any new growth. It may not be getting enough sun, but we're gonna see how it does. I trimmed up the sugar cane, but if you remember, I planted it like this high when I got back from South Africa. Hey baby. And then now it's higher than my shade structure, so it's probably 10 feet tall. And then this was a cutting, this red sugar cane. So the red sugar cane is easy 6 feet. As we get here, this is that cutting that I planted, the moringa cutting, and it's already starting to get some flowers. It's flowering nicely. This is the cutting that some of my fans gave me from India. So we'll see how this one does, but it looks like it's doing pretty well. And this one's gonna come up and be a canopy on it's gonna canopy this side, so I can put more tropicals. But yeah, the sugar cane's doing so well. So I can't wait to see how this area turns out. Next year's gonna be a big year for me and Stonehaven, because I'm gonna get that second year of growth. And right over here is my tropic pink guava, and it's just got some gorgeous new growth. It's loving the place that I put it, but it's tall. It's getting almost as tall as me now. Bushing out. It's doing the best as far as the guavas. The loquat here is I have some new growth on it, so that's positive. It's just looking a little shabby, as is my pineapple guava looking real shabby. But look here, it's looking real nice on this new growth up top, kind of bunching out. So I think it really likes that the weather turned, but as this carob tree canopies next year, and I planted another moringa right here, so I can get a nice canopy, and all of this will be in the shade, which is a good plan for tropicals. So this right here is 2 more red sugar cane cuttings that are coming up, just blowing up. And then the giant bamboo is looking really good, the green stripe. Got a really nice color to it. And it's just bushing out. This is gonna take another couple years for it to start getting big, but you can see too, I have a watering bubbler over there and one in between these two. And you can see this is like growing towards the water there. So maybe I should put that one in the middle there too. So right over here, I have the mulberry that was a bare root from Greg Peterson in February, and it's doing really well. It has a lot of new growth on it. It's got some heat damage, but it's not too bad. But the new growth is doing really well. Let's see if I can show you this. Yeah, the new growth is still coming up, coming in really strong. So I can't wait to get Pakistani mulberries. I'll be super excited about that. Now for the figs. So this is the mystery fig that I got from the neighbor. It's got a nice purple belly button on it. So that might tell me what kind of fig it is, but there's a chance it's a black mission or a brown turkey, but it looks very similar to this brown turkey over here. So this brown turkey fig, the leaves look similar, and not only that, it has this purple belly button on it. These ones aren't ripe yet, but they're coming in heavily, and it's looking good. I got a little Janus seedless coming in here, which is putting figs on also. but we'll see how this guy does. I had to cut it all the way back, and that came up from the rootstock. And then right here is another moringa in the middle. Pulled one of the figs out and put a moringa there. So I have a moringa here in the front, one right there, and then this is the cutting. I'll get to that in a second. But when these three grow up, they're gonna canopy this whole area. So it's gonna be nice and shaded under here. Hopefully that'll be next year, but we'll see. This is another fig. This is a white, or this is the tiger, the panache. It's doing good, came up from the root ball. And then this one's the white Genoa. So it's coming in with figs. And then the best one is this one here, the one that's doing the best. This is the Janus seedless Cadota. And actually, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a nice fluffy one. So I'm gonna take this off here. Not fluffy, but soft. So split this open. You guys can see how much like sugar content that has in it. So here it is. Looks really good. I'm gonna try it now on camera. Delicious. Actually, I have a few more ripening up. I just kind of pick them when they're nice and soft. Even down here on the stalk. Oh yeah. They're small this year, but the Janus are yellow when they're ready. So it gets a little bit of that yellow, that white milk coming out, which you don't really want to put your tongue on that because it's kind of bitter. So just kind of like tap it off with your clothes. And then that one could have used a little bit longer on the tree. But check this out. This is the root ball that I pulled out of the ground on, I think it was episode 91. But I'm gonna show you this up close. Look how beautiful and green these leaves are. There's like all straight new growth. And I basically got, you can see right there where I cut the top of the root ball. Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. She loves climbing these moringa trees. But I cut the top of the root ball there, and I planted that cutting, and I'll show that to you later. But it came out with 2 branches. Now it's taller than me already. I only planted this a couple months ago. So with a little bit of a root ball attached, they transplant really, really well, and they grow fast. And then you see this moringa right over here that I put in the ground. This one is going to come up and shade the carob. Now the carob is doing much better. As when I combed over all the branches, it's now starting to kind of grow up. So that's what I wanted to do. And if you notice the carob from the front, it's like a half a tree. Like you can see behind my truck there. Like this whole side of the tree is gone. So there's the trunk. Right there. So I'm trying to fill in that side of the tree, but right now I'm glad I didn't take it out because the carob's going to be awesome to have there. So you can see right here I have the moringa root ball from Moana planted right there. It's about that tall behind the fig in front of the peach. And I have this moringa here and that moringa there. They're all going to grow up and hopefully interlock and touch canopies. It's going to shade this side of the carob that needs some help. And it's going to give me a canopy under my yard. So I'm very excited about how that's going to look and hopefully into next year. And I don't know if you can see all this, but I just got, when I was gone for a week doing some drone shots, I got 4 more truckloads of wood chips. So right behind me there is a massive pile of wood chips. And we just started laying them all over here and all over on the peaches. I got to pull them away from the trunks a little bit, but we're just going all in on these wood chips for winter. But look at these peaches. If you want to ask what do wood chips do, they give you new growth all year on your peaches. These are deciduous trees and they haven't dropped yet, but it's still pretty warm out. So this one you can see where the yellowing is happening, but there's still new growth on the top of these tips. So this one I got from Dig It Nursery as a 15-gallon tree with a whole bunch of flowers it produced this year. This one was a bare root from Greg Peterson, his urban farm sale in February. Pretty much the trunks are almost the same size now, and this one probably has a whole year on this one, but it's looking big, so I can't wait to see it next year. I'm gonna have to do a separate moringa update, but I'm gonna show you guys this anyway. Now this is Maui's child. This is the one that I cut off, the bonsai branch. And see, when you plant really thick cuttings, like 1.5 to 2 inches thick, they grow root ball. It was slow coming in with the buds, but once it started coming, it's just going crazy now. So I'm excited to see how this one does, because this one's gonna be the one that really grows up to be the west shade for all my tropicals right over there. And then this little almond didn't do much at all summer, but now it's almost as tall as me. So it's doing pretty well. And I gotta tell you, if you guys want a fast growing green in Phoenix, this Egyptian spinach is insane. It's only actually been in the ground now for about 2 months. I planted a small little seedling from Velarde Gardens that I got at the farmer's market, and it is just growing like crazy. And if you've never tried Egyptian spinach, they have these little kind of hairs at the bottom. It's delicious green. It actually is quite buttery. Has a buttery flavor. And then on the tips, it's got all these seed pods. Now the seed pods are starting to dry out. I'm gonna let them go to seed. But if you can find an immature one on the tips that's brand new and still soft, like this one here. So this one here on the end is like a little immature pod and it's still soft. So I'm gonna pick this one off, and then it tastes like a cucumber. Pete Canars had a video on his channel, Green Dreams Florida. Or I think it was his wife or someone, she pickled them. So you could pickle the Egyptian spinach seed pods, which is awesome. So these are my 2 little moringas that I planted in the ground, that we planted, the seedlings that we grew in the cups, and they're doing really well. So, you know, they're about 4 feet tall. This one's getting some flowers on it, right up in here. And what we're gonna do with these 2 is we're gonna cut these ones at the base. So I'm gonna try the branching or the bushing moringas here. So it's right outside the front door. We can come in here and just have them all bush out. We'll see how that one works. And right here, I'm super excited to show you guys this. My acerola cherry is just blowing up. This is my Barbados. So there's been a lot of flowers on here. I've gotten a few cherries off these 2 trees. There's another one right there. You can see these flowers coming in are really beautiful. Little pink flowers. But I want to show you something, because you don't really get to see these unless they turn red, because they blend in with the tree. But I got some cherries. Got one here. I got a couple right there. They have not turned red yet. There's one over here. So, and all these other flowers that look like they might be giving me some more cherries. So I really can't wait, because these cherries taste delicious. They have 3 seeds inside of them. It's a tropical cherry. And I've been doing some experiments. I have one video on how to root these cuttings, and it was not successful. So I got to do an update on that video, because that acerola video was not successful. However, I have now been successful. So I'm going to show you my setup, probably in another video, for how to root acerola cuttings, because they're doing really well. So, all right, let's go over to this other side here and check out the moringas, the other moringas. There's the giant leaf moringa, which is now like 15 feet tall. So check it out, giant leaf moringa. This is about how tall I am right here. And this guy's just reaching for the sky. There are no flowers on giant leaf though. This one, when we planted it, it was about half the size of this sprout. It was like right here. And that was in like May. And now the trunk is just ridiculous. So I'm gonna wait until probably January, February to cut this one down. And then this is its counterpart. We planted this one basically at the exact same time. So you can see the size of trunks, the difference in trunks. And this one is producing tons of flowers and pods. So there's the flowers. The hummingbirds love this. And I gotta step up on these wood chips here. But you could see all the pods starting from inside these flowers. Pod there, pod there, pod there. Definitely has less leaf production when it starts putting on flowers. Look at all these pods coming in. And then check this one out. This is the big boy that I have so far. It's, I don't know, probably 18 inches long. It's a long one. And got another decent sized one coming up in over here. So these are great. And then right next to it is the green thornless jujube, the Indian jujube. And it is just going crazy. Like it's way up here. And I actually had to tie these together because it likes to just sprawl. And it was coming way over on my neighbor's yard. So I just tied them together so they're all coming up. And now that's starting to kind of, lean over on the top there. But tons and tons of flowers. I don't know how many fruits I'm gonna get off this one, but I'm just letting it go, see what happens. It's just like so loaded, like ridiculously loaded. But I can't wait to try some Indian jujubes, or jujubes, however you want to say it. Still got a lot of new growth coming right up in there on the center. And then Maui in its majesty. So here's Maui. That trunk is nice right now for this year. You can see all these new wood chips I'm going to be putting around it. I left all the side branches on for now. And see, my cat was climbing it, so she broke some branches, but that's okay. Not too bad. If you remember, I cut this thing down about 10 weeks ago, and it's just shooting right back up. So I like getting these trunks nice and thick. See how fast they can grow. So this one's doing good. I don't have it staked anymore, just on her own. But yeah, it's just so great. So yeah, look at Maui. It's just, whoa. Just climbing like crazy. And she tastes great. And then this is the rainbow eucalyptus. She's doing really well too. Starting to bush out. In fact, got a whole brand new branch right here that's shooting for the sky. Another couple branches shooting for the sky. So you see the new growth on this. It's looking really good. Looking really, really good. So I can't wait till this gets as big as Craig's. But it's looking good. So the trunk is even starting to change color a little bit as it peels off. Starting to turn green, like a little bit of a neon green there. But it's looking good. looking real good. So there's my rainbow eucalyptus and Maui and my saguaro. So that's the front yard. Everything's doing pretty good. If you can see all those piles of wood chips, we're gonna move these out a little bit, but we have this whole pile here to move now. I got a big, huge wheelbarrow, so it'll help us out, do a little quicker. And then right over here is that passion fruit that I planted from Lowe's. It's behind the gate here, but it's doing crazy. It's doing so well. And I think it's coming in with flowers. I think these little guys in the middle here, I think that that's a flower coming in. So they're all over, these little small yellow bunches, but yeah, it's gonna take over this whole fence, and that's kind of my whole goal for this one. I probably should put in another variety or two to help intermix them both. So if the butterflies take out one, they won't take out all of it. But it's just reaching. This is the west side of my house here. This was getting full sun all summer. I was watering it a lot, and I wood chipped it heavily down here, but it was getting full sun. So now we move into the backyard. My tangelo trees are doing okay. Coming in with tangelos. I mulched heavily under these trees. And then right down here, we have all the other, you can see once we started really mulching heavy, this is the ovalophalia, the other variety of moringa. This is a little moringa cutting. They're doing well. Another couple cuttings. One down in here. You could just see they're all doing well. And these ones over here, these 4, are native soil moringas. I did not do anything as far as amending the soil. The only thing I've done is put wood chips, and these wood chips are only here as of a couple days. So this is just native soil, and they're doing so well, so beautiful and so strong. So green, very strong. So those are the native soil ones. We got another heavily flowering moringa here, which is kind of doing a little yellow. You know, when you plant them in native soil and then you let them just go in native soil, grow like that, they stay real green. This one was a transplant, so it's definitely taking a lot of hit, but got some nice wood chips down there. This one we grew from seed also, PKM1, along with this one, which is flowering now, PKM1 seed. So, looking good. I ended up getting rid of the chickens. I was going out of town for a week, and I've been leaving and going out of town a lot lately. But I couldn't really, me and my brother both went out of town at the same time to do the black walnut videos at my new family's house. So this is a chicken coop that I'm now going to convert into a garden storage, because I need one, because right now everything's just sitting over here by the hoop house. So I'm gonna do that later. But a couple other cool things. This is the top of Maui. Remember when I cut Maui down? It's now coming in so red. It's got so many cuttings on, so many branches on the top. It took a while for this to sprout, but it's very thick, and it took a while for the roots to start developing. But once they did, it took off. I have like at least probably 2 feet of wood chips here, maybe a little bit more. So the top of Maui, maybe I'll call this one Honolulu. And then the other one, the other Maui cutting, maybe call it Kauai or something. But yeah, it's looking so beautiful. I'm so glad it's coming up. And then giant leaf, the giant leaf cutting is doing so well also. Look at this. Yeah, it's just coming in really nice. So many branches, looking very healthy. Doesn't have giant leaves yet, but it's looking good. So we'll see if the genetic giant leaf stays that way. But one more look at Honolulu over here is just beautiful. It's like red. This is definitely a red moringa on the top here. I guess we don't really know what makes them red yet, but it's beautiful. And then I got some more moringas in pots here. And then back here I got the little guys going. This is where I have the majority of all the moringas sprouting in the tree pots. So they're all doing pretty well. They're gonna want some more heat soon. Loquat's doing good right here. Coconut palm's doing well. More moringas over here and right there. And over here, a lot more moringas. We put those okras in pots that were in the garden bed, and they're actually producing some okras in the pots. And this is that cherry tree. So the cherry tree's doing well now. The temperature dropped. The Bing cherry, 3-in-1 cherry. I'm gonna give it to my friend in Sedona because it gets colder up there and he might get some cherries. And then this is Moana the moringa. See all these little sprouts coming in? This is the top, the cutting off of the root ball I showed you earlier. So this is just the cutting we put in a pot, and it is doing really well. So it's nice. Another thing I have back here is I planted some Palo Verde seeds from a delicious pod. So I got a couple sprouting here. I planted them on October 6th, so about a month ago. Only got a couple sprout, and these ones are some mesquites, and I got a lot of these to sprout. So I'm thinking about using these as rootstock for some really delicious honey mesquite pods. So we'll see what happens. But yep, there's the packed greenhouse now. And these little moringas, the transplanted ones, they're doing okay, but I can't wait to get them in the ground. They're gonna really love the ground. So right over here, a little pomegranate. Right over here I have my passion fruit and dragon fruit that's gonna grow up my grapefruit tree trellis. And it's got some new growth on the passion here, new growth here. It's nice. And then right here on the dragon fruit, I think it's coming in with fruit, possibly. Little air roots. But that would be really cool. So just put it right on the east side of my tree so it protects it from the west sun, but it gets morning sun. And then they can grow into the sun. But it'll be really cool to have this trellis full of passion fruit. I think it'll look really cool. And then the intensive moringas are doing real well. Got 300 of them growing in here, and they're just popping up nicely. So I didn't get to show you before we harvested it, or didn't really harvest it, just cut it down. But on the bottom here, this is all tobacco. And these tobacco plants were really covering the okras. The okras were having to grow out of it. These bananas are doing awesome. This new shoot's about to unroll, a new leaf. I just trimmed it up a little bit on the bottom, chopped and dropped. But that's the ice cream banana. And I got a pup. So here's the ice cream banana, but check this out. I got my first pup coming in. So we'll let that just grow and see how it does. I got a lot of flies in this area because this is where I composted my stuff right down there. But that's okay, they're all breaking things down. They're doing their job. So tobacco down here in the front, you can probably see there's probably a hornworm on here somewhere already right now, because you can see all these. See if I can find them. The tobacco hornworms really love these things. It's very sticky when you touch the leaves on the tobacco. Can't find the worm right now, but he's somewhere around here. That's it. That's the Stonehaven garden update for November. I think all my moringas are doing great. My cuttings are doing great. All the moringas I put in the ground as cuttings, they're doing really well. The thinner cuttings aren't doing so well in the pots, but you know, you really want the thicker cuttings if possible. The wood chips are definitely one of the keys to the success that I'm seeing here at Stonehaven. So I would encourage you guys to wood chip heavily, and when you think you have enough wood chips, add more, double it. But so I'm going to be getting all of these wood chips moved into the backyard over the next couple days, and then I'm going to get more dumped right back here, so he can pull the truck all the way in, start dumping in the back. I don't have to wheelbarrow them as far. That's the Stonehaven garden update for November. So if you guys like this video, give me a big green thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because it'll let you know whenever I'm doing new updates. And I got a lot of things that I have to tell you guys about, because why do a project without filming it? I don't know, I like filming things and sharing them with you guys. Until next time, develop awesome skills. I love you guys, and plant some food, plant some moringas, and go to the Facebook group, the I Want More Moringa Facebook group, and help us plant 1 million moringas in 5 years. We can do it, guys. We can do it. So, all right, guys, well, until next time, love you. Peace.